You're simply the best. Better than all the rest.
Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's JPA here. In today's video I'm going to be talking about Rangers versus Kilmarnock tomorrow. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and we'll just get straight into this video. So it's Rangers versus Kilmarnock tomorrow, 3 PM kick-off at Ibrox, available on Rangers TV, where you'll get the commentary from Clive Tildesley and Kevin Thompson. I think one of the studio guests this week is Walter Smith, so that'll be really good to watch that. First and foremost, I'm not quite over this result from last weekend yet, and I know it's early days, it's early in the season, Celtic have dropped points, we've dropped points. I do get that, but I'm just feeling that there's a similar pattern going to what's happened in previous years, and it's pretty much scar tissue for me, knowing that we're not quite breaking these teams down. Having said that, we're going to have to play against a Kilmarnock team that are going to play exactly the same way as Livingston did. Looking at the last results, it's kind of a mixed bag really. They opened the season with a 2-1 defeat away to Hibs. They probably were never going to win that game. I think Hibs have got a really good side this season. They got a really good draw against Celtic. For me it was a shock draw, but they did defend largely in numbers, which is obviously something that we're going to have to overcome. They then drew with Ross County. They probably should have won that game if you're really honest. And then they lost at home to St Johnstone 2-1. I think they were pretty much in control of that game until the red card, which was disappointing for them. They'll obviously be missing that player. But you can never really look at a team's past results and then compare them to how they're going to be playing against Rangers. Obviously, when the big two come to town, or when they visit each other, the team kind of shuts up shop. And we've seen that already this season. 2 draws have dropped big points for both sides of the form really. Looking at their squad, they're obviously going to be missing Millen, who got sent off last week, as I said. I didn't expect Brophy to play, certainly not start anyway. The way they've kind of lined up, they've been using the big man Kabamba up front, who causes a lot of problems. And he's obviously going to be a danger man for us. I'd imagine they'll deploy a very similar system to what Livingston did. They'll deploy a very similar system to what they did against Celtic, albeit that was a home game. It's going to be interesting, really is, and it all depends on how we react and how we play. And saying that, if you look at our team, Balogun is still unfit to play. Really annoyingly, Aribo is not playing either. I think he was a massive loss for us last week. He is one that kind of creates things, and he's pretty much the one that's running at a lot of bits of space and creating space for others. And I think this kind of new way that we're playing up front with the 4 attacking players interchanging, I think he's a massive part of that. And Arfield really couldn't, no disrespect to him, couldn't fill his shoes last week, and that's no the reason we got beat, but it's one of the key factors that we didn't really create enough in the final third last weekend. Jermaine Defoe is not expected to be back until after the international break, whenever that is, a couple of weeks time. So we kind of rely on him, but we have got Morelos, Itten and Roof available, Greg Stewart if needed as well. So we've got enough up top to deal with that. He did mention McGregor's back fit. I would imagine it's probably a little bit too early for him in this game, which I've not got any problems with. McLaughlin coming in again, I think he's been superb this season, but I do think when McGregor's fit, he is our number one, he is our best goalkeeper at the club, so I'd imagine he will start when fully fit. But as I say, I think this game's maybe just came around a little bit too early for him. No point looking at our form, we know how our form is. You can look at it in 2 aspects. You can look at the fact that we've not conceded a goal this season, which is fantastic. Before I go on to my prediction, I just want to kind of address this thing that came up again in the press conference. David Edgar of Heart and Hand brought this up, and I think Chris Boyd as well brought it up. in the Sunday's game as well at half time. Do we really need these two holding midfielders? Now Gerrard kind of answered the question and then kind of just went back on himself and said that we kind of do need these players. I very much disagree with that. I don't think we do need two holding midfielders. He tried to kind of justify it by saying we play with two wing backs high up the pitch, and he still likes that four in at the back to protect us. No disrespect to any of the teams we're facing this season in the SPL. I kind of see too many teams causing us problems if we only played one. I mean, most of the time we're going to be up against a 10-man defence and they're going to just lump it forward to the one-man, that'd be 9-man defence, and one man just up there receiving the ball and not really having anybody to work on. So I didn't really see the point of having two in there. I kind of understand why he's doing it, but at the same time it's kind of worrying that he's not willing to move on for this and try things a little bit different. I think the Livingston game last week was evident we needed two men up top there. I suggested, for me, Itten and Morelos are probably our two best players for that position, if you like. Jermaine Defoe's a slightly different player to Itten would be, and I think having a big man, kind of a target man, heading down to the likes of Morelos or the likes of Defoe or Roof even, I think that'd be a good option to have up front. Having said that, I think Aribo's going to be a massive loss for us. Tell me what you guys think, but I think it's pivotal to have him in the team. So in terms of my prediction, I'm going to go slightly conservative. I'm going to go for a Rangers 1-0 win. I think it's going to be echoing the game on Sunday. As I say, I think the Kilmarnock are going to set up very difficult to beat. They're going to get men behind the ball. They're going to make it difficult. They're going to hit us on the break, which we have to be prepared for. But I think we need to be a little bit more gung-ho in our performances, be a little bit braver on the ball and go attack them with as many numbers as we can. I do believe we'll play Helander again along with Goldson in that centre-back pairing. Now for me, Helander doesn't have a lot of pace, and that kind of worries me, which I think is why he does like to have that two in there. But I think we really need to be a little bit more adventurous going forward and just push these players up a bit. I mean, with our two centre-backs, Helander and Goldson, sitting on the edge of our 18, and then just beyond that on the halfway line you had Jack and Kamara. I'd like to see, and I think you probably will see this at Ibrox, let's push up that a little bit more and have the two centre backs on the halfway line and just pushing it up as far as we can. There is one thing I was going to say, and this was again suggested by David Edgar of Heart and Hand, and it's the whole thing about not having any fans there. I think at away games it kind of does affect us because we didn't have that lift that we'd normally get when we're struggling a little bit. But I think at Ibrox, when we are struggling, the crowd can be a little bit of a bad influence, if you like, at times. Now I'm not saying we're a bad support. I think we massively get behind the team when we're winning, but there's just this little element of the support that when we're no winning, when it gets to 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, we've not scored yet, we've not really created a chance yet, that starts to negatively affect the team in my opinion. And I just think, having that added little bit of pressure and the negativity of the fans might actually help us, and I think that's probably why we've won our opening couple of games at Ibrox. So that's the video done, guys. Just before I go, I'd like to say good luck to Ross McCrory and Greg Dockett, who have left the club this week. I'm no in complete happiness about these decisions to let these players go. I think they were players for the future, especially McCrory, and I thought they probably could have broken into the team, but we didn't see them in training every day and we didn't see how they play week in, week out. So good luck to them. I don't agree with the teams they went to or for the prices that they went as well, but that's unfortunate. So yeah, good luck to the guys. Thank you very much for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.